before I say who the first speaker is, I'm going to tell you a few things about that person. Miles Garvey is one of the biggest supporters of Local 751 from 1989. And we will be amiss if we don't have him to speak first on the mic here, because he does a lot for us since we've been fired, way before we were fired. And he knows that we were fired illegally, and wrongly. So we're going to welcome Miles Garvey as the first speaker here. Give it up for Miles Garvey. Thank you.
Thank you, Andre, and thank all of you. I want to thank Stevie for the weather. It's the first time we haven't had our toes frozen in a long time, so thank you all so much. Listen, this is not a fight about the bus drivers, not about the thing. This is about organized labor and how corporations just continue to wilt away what workers have gained over 50 years. And we, as 2222, the IBW, Organized Labor, Greater Labor Council, and the AFL, can't allow this, whether it's 5 bus drivers, 4 bus drivers, 1 bus driver. We have to protect everybody. So it's an honor for me to stand here representing 2222 and assuring all of you we are with you because you've been there for us. And I thank you ever so much.
Thank you, Miles.
Hello, Chantal is in the house. Let me hear you say union. 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 I can hear you. I can hear you. Thank you. Right now I'm going to introduce to you Mr. Charles Yancey, one of our best supporters.
Thank you very much. Mes amis, merci beaucoup. I am honored to be here with you this evening to restate my support for all of Boston Public School drivers. Of all the unions in the city, you deserve support from the public. You deserve support from the parents. You deserve support from the teachers. You deserve support from every union in the city of Boston. Because you have demonstrated your integrity. You have demonstrated your strength. You've negotiated great contracts for school bus drivers. In fact, you have now become a victim of your success. That's why they're going after your leadership. You're too good. You're too effective. You're too strong. But you know what? You must stay together. You must not allow yourselves to be picked off one by one, because it's not just the workers who will be paying the price. You know, the Boston City Council and the mayor approved their budget last week. It's a $2.7 billion budget. And the school department said they could not afford to transport 7th and 8th graders to and from school. So they've decided to cut $8 million from the school department's budget, put our children on the MBTA buses. Some will have to leave home at 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning, if not earlier, just to get to school in the dark during the winter. Some will have to come home in the dark. All will be at increased risk of the streets because they no longer have the benefits, the safety, and the security of the services offered by our school bus drivers who are trained to protect and serve our children. The plan to take our children off the buses, the 7th and 8th graders, was ill-advised. It creates even more instability and insecurity and disruption in the lives of our children. If we're committed to their education, why are we subjecting them to so much turmoil at their young age? Remember, I said $8 million is what they said they're going to cut. I identified more than $30 million of anticipated revenue for next year that was not even considered when the budget was passed last week. So we have a budget that understates the revenue by more than $30 million, when ultimately, if that budget holds, be laying off more school bus drivers, but worse than that, we are undercutting some very important support for our children. They need comfort when they go to school. I'm not at all apologetic about that. I want our children to be comfortable when they go to school. I don't see them taking a ride on the MBTA as some type of rite of passage. They have a right to have a school bus to take them to school. So I want every parent of a 7th and 8th grader to make sure their voices are heard, to support their children. Yes, I want them to support this union, but by supporting this union, they're supporting the children. This union, more than any other in the city of Boston, has been fighting against racism and injustice, and they've been very consistent. And you deserve thanks for that. You deserve thanks. You set a great example for all of our unions. So I'm going to close by simply asking you to support those leaders who were so carelessly terminated last year. It was inexcusable that you have Veolia that has violated the contract, not only getting away with doing that, but being rewarded. And guess what? When the services are taken away from our 7th and 8th graders, Veolia doesn't experience any cut at all. They get the same pay. There's something basically wrong about that. We must stand together. We must unite. We must support our leaders who have been terminated. But most of all, we must support our children and continue to fight for equal education in the city of Boston. We must never return to the days of segregated and unequal education in the city of Boston. God bless you. Keep up the fight. The future of our children depend on it. Thank you very much. Keep up the fight. Protect our workers.
Thank you. Did you guys hear that? I can hear you. What do we must do? What do we must do? Keep up the fight. That's right. Let me hear you say, justice for the children. Justice for the drivers. Safety for the children.
Safety for the children.
Justice for the drivers.
Justice for the drivers.
Union.
Union.
Union. Are we together? Are we together? That's why we are. Thank you.
Now, without further ado, I'm going to introduce to you a great leader of Boston, the Boston Labor Council, Rick Rogers.
Good evening, brothers and sisters. I come here not only with my supporters, the head of the Greater Boston Labor Council, but on the way down here, our AFL-CIO State President, Steve Tolman, called me, and he's 100% behind your struggle. I'll tell you what we're not going to put up with in Boston. Nobody. It's some foreign firm coming in here and trying to knock people's wages down that have fought for 30 years. That's what we call union busting. The Greater Boston Labor Council says no to union busting. So we're with you. This needs to be resolved at the bargaining table. And I talked to your leaders here, and they have the nerve to be asking you to give back on your health care, not even give you inflation and level wage increases. This firm is paid by the taxpayers of the city of Boston. That money belongs in workers' pockets, not in some French company. So we're with you. We need your leaders back to work, and we need a contract. And we know one thing I've known for many years with 8751, there's no quit in this union. We'll be behind you 100%, so you're back with justice and a good contract. Thank you.
Sisters and brothers, let me hear you say union. Union. Are we together? I said, are we together? Now it's my privilege to introduce. We have wonderful labor support throughout the state, throughout our international union. And this is what every union needs, because an injury to one is an injury to all. So I want to recognize Massachusetts AFL-CIO President Steve Tolman, strong supporter of this union, been in the airwaves, been on the newspapers, but he was taken out of town for today. And his aide, Chrissy Lynn, Chrissy's out here. So there she is right now. How about a big hand for Chrissy from the Massachusetts AFL-CIO? Because, you know, all the labor haters in town have tried to say, oh, does this union have the support of the labor movement? You're damn right we do. When you fight the good fight, you got the support of everybody. The next person I want to ask to come up to the stage, really, in Local 87151, needs no introduction, but I'm going to say a few words. It's our brother, Joe Carlson, but let me say a few. Our brother had some serious health issues. He's recovering wonderful. He looks great. This brother has stood with us, not only as our staff rep for 25 years, but in the 1970s, when he was a president of a union out in Auburn, Massachusetts, this brother walked every single picket line from 1974 to 2014. It was a surprise to have him out here today, but he told me there's no other place he'd rather be. Please give it up for our brother, Joe Carlson.
Joe. Thanks, Steve. And let's hear it. Steel workers. You know, when I got here, Steve had shown me the proposals that are on the table. And I tell you, I ain't been so pissed off in a long time. Are you shitting me? 40 years worth of improvements, and these son of a bitches think they're taking it back in one day. That's not gonna happen on the Steelworkers Watch. And I'm here to tell you, from Judge and the director, Steve Finnegan's here, Andrew's at the table with you, and I'm telling you, that shit ain't going down. These people show up on a boat. They think they're taking 40 years worth of improvements. They are smoking something. I only wish they'd share. One thing they're going to have to learn if they want to do business in the city of Boston with the steelworkers, it's called, and you know it, and it means a lot to this local, is they got to learn what the word respect means. And they showed up in Boston, and from the day they got here, they showed a lack of respect just on how they had to assume and accept their responsibilities for the agreement we had in place. Then what's their first bonehead move? Let's fire the leadership. Well, I got news for you. Equal billing. Fire those foolish bastards. I can't believe it that they'd have the nerve to come to Boston and behave this way. So you need to know it. It's not happening today. It's not happening tomorrow. And this stiff up will never happen on our watch in the city of Boston. So stay strong, enjoy your summer, don't be weak.
All right, Joe.
I can hear you. Give it up, give it up. What? I can hear you. Let me hear you say union. 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 Veolia, we say no.
Union busting got to go.
Veolia, we say no.
Union busting's got to go.
Veolia, we say no.
Union busting's got to
Are we
go.
together? Are we together? Thank you, thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we want a great big hand now for this brother who's coming up to speak next, because he deserves every clap that you get. Because when we had no one to turn to, in order for us to get the word out to the public, not Channel 5, Channel 56, not Channel 38, whatever channel it was, we had no way of getting our message out to the community. The only way we got our message out was one person at one station, and that's Charles Clinton. This brother here, I'm telling you, whenever we went to his building and asked him, can we more so come in and speak the next day, he said, whenever you need, come on down. Just call me and let me know. I will set up a time for you, more so let's get your message up to the street. Every time we went to his building to get our message out to the public, he treated us with respect. He treated the community with respect. He didn't hide anything from the community. Everything needed to be said. He didn't cut anything out. He aired everything that we had to say so the community will know the truth. And they knew the truth when we went out to his station. So we need to give this brother all due respect that he deserves. And he deserves everything that we can give him, a muster up to give him. Charles Clemens. Oh, and also don't forget to sign the petition.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here. I'm fired up. I'm going to tell you, every time I get a call to come out and support such beautiful people, my sisters and my brothers that stand together in solidarity, I just get goosebumps. We're up against a struggle. But one thing we need to understand is that you support our children. You don't turn your backs on our children. That's why you deserve a contract. You deserve a contract. We are in it to win it. Are we in it to win it? Are we in it to win it? We will not surrender. Repeat after me. We will not surrender. We want a contract today. Now I'll say this. You know, when you want something bad enough, you gotta fight for it. When you want something bad enough, you gotta fight for it. And I'm gonna tell you, brothers and sisters, I feel the power in the unity that you have. You will not surrender. You will get a contract. You will take our children, and you will take our children from point A to point B. There is something wrong with the city of Boston when they turn their backs on our children. There's something wrong with the city of Boston when they don't want to pay you the money that you deserve. There's something wrong with the city of Boston, so they need to take and check themselves out. I say here today, Veolia, whatever their name is called, we will get a contract. 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 Before that, we can't forget to reinstate our leaders. They think when you cut off the head that the body is going to die. You're too strong. You're too strong. You're too strong, and unity is more powerful than a nuclear bomb. and they know it. So reinstate our fire leaders today. I say on behalf of Touch 106.1 FM, our doors are open to you. You know the government shut us down. They try to silence us, but they messing with the wrong people. They messing with the wrong folks. Just like you're fighting, we're fighting. And I'll say this, my sisters and brothers' problems are my problems, and we're going to solve these problems together. We're in it to win it. 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 Thank you. Oh, don't forget the petition. All right. All right. So I have petitions for those that live in Roxbury, Mattapan, and Dorchester. Shall the state representative from this district be instructed to vote in favor of legislation to facilitate the licensing of low-power radio stations in underserved communities? We all deserve a voice. So if you are a registered voter in Dorchester or Mattapan, see me on the side, sign this. We're going to try to get this ballot. Forget it. We're going to get this ballot November. It's going to be on the ballot. Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right, good evening again, ladies and gentlemen. This is me, Gary, MC Hammer. No, I'm not. Well, listen. Now, I'm going to want to introduce you to this brother here who's been with us for the last, I've been here 30 years. And he's been in support of this local since I've been here, and I've been here 30 years. And for those of you know who Chuck Turner is, the city councilman. As you know, whenever we had a fight, we never missed this gentleman. He's always there, right by our side. Never missed a turn, never missed an up or down. If you're going up a hill, he's there. If you're going down the hill, he was there with you. If you're going around the curve, he probably beat you around the curve before you got there in order to more so make you got justice in your community. Whenever there's a struggle in whatever community that he represented, whether he represented the community or not, he was there to represent the people. So we all need to give a great big hand for this brother who's been around for 40-something years that I know of, and he's been here and he's still fighting. So give a great big hand for Chuck Turner.
How you all doing? You know, the reality is, I'm tired.
Yep.
And I know the reality is that you're tired too. But we have to keep something in mind. Historically, there have been a lot of fiery speeches about the contract and getting the contract back, and that's key, because that's where the power is. But I want to talk to you about our history, because I think when we understand the history, we can understand why this bus drivers union is so important and why we can't give up the struggle. We can't give it up. You know, people of African American descent have been in this country for 400 years. And we have essentially been slaves for 400 years. You know, injustice has been the focus of the society's treatment of black people. Now, why I say 400 years, people say, well, the Civil War was over in 1865. That's not 400 years. But the reality is that they replaced the slave system with the convict labor system.
That's right.
Read about the convict labor system. What they did is they set up a legal system where it was impossible for a black man or a black woman not to be arrested on a charge, and the alternative to spending the time in jail was that one of the white planters would come down and lease the brothers from the sheriff. Think about that. 200 years of manual slavery, and then 100 years of convict labor. And then if you read the book by Michelle Alexander, what she argues very well is that the war on drugs had nothing to do with drugs. Brothers and sisters, the war on drugs had nothing to do with drugs. It was a plan to put the black workers who were seen as a threat by the white workers, given the fact that the jobs were being shipped overseas, the jobs that the white men thought they had were now being shipped overseas. They were being shipped overseas, and the white men were saying, what are you going to do for us? And they said, well, what we're going to do for you is we're going to get rid of those black workers. We'll put them in prison, and we'll create jobs for you. We'll create jobs for you in these small towns where the corporations won't come. We'll create an economic platform by allowing you to control the black people that the injustice system has put in jail. Now the question you might ask is, what does that have to do? You know, it's a important history, but we're here to talk about workers. But the reality is, brothers and sisters, that the chief objective of the white society has been to keep us in a situation where we had no economic power, where in fact the power, they kept the power and they used us to reinforce their power. You know, the reality is that this union has been an example to workers throughout this city and throughout the nation, in terms of what workers need to do to use their labor strength to not only fight for themselves, but to fight for everybody, to use the power of the workers to fight around school issues, to fight around questions of equity, fairness. That's what workers are supposed to do. The reality is that even the labor unions, white control dominated labor unions, haven't liked it. And why haven't they liked it? Here's a union that stands up and fights for power for the workers of our community. So why don't these unions like it? Because the reality is their mentality is the same in many cases as the bosses. Let us not be fooled. Let us not assume that just because some workers are organizing, that those workers support our just demand. So I'm not going to talk a long time, but what I wanted to say to us today is that this struggle to get a fair and decent contract, it seems to me, is the most important political issue in this city. Now, why do I say it's the most important political issue in the city? And that is, there's an organized attempt to keep the black and Latin Asian workers down. Just look all around us. We can see it everywhere. And as far as I see it, there's only one union that is consistently standing up and saying, no, we won't take it. And what did they do? They used a trumped up situation to get rid of the leadership. See, if we allow them to get away with that, then we are collaborating. See, we are collaborating with them. You know, if we as a people stand together, if we bring twice, 3 times, 4 times the number of people out here, that by the fall there are 4, 5, 6, 800 people here, then we will have the power to, in fact, achieve justice. To achieve justice, if we say, well, there's nothing we can really do, you know, the government has all the power, we can't expect support from the white-controlled union, then they're going to win. So all I want to say to you is that we are all part of a 400-year struggle. A 400-year struggle. And if it hadn't been for those in each 100 years, we wouldn't be here today. We wouldn't have the union. Because each generation has to build the platform for the next generations to move forward. So I believe we're going to win. I have no doubt we're going to win. Because I have no doubt in the spirit that flows in your hearts and the brothers and sisters throughout that community. Thank you.
Thank you, Chuck.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I believe that we will win. 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 Thank you. Keep up the great spirit. What now I'm about to present to you? Oh. What now I'm about to present to you Mr. Bishop T. Bishop T, welcome. Give it up, give it up, give it up.
Yes, sir, brother. Well, this message is for our mayor. What's his name again? Okay, Mr. Walsh. I remember you made so many promises to the black and brown people. Now you let us go down so bad for our children. I think it's a shame if you allow those city councils to pass a resolution bill so our children can take the MBTA buses, so the MBTA police department can profile them and put them in jail. That's what's happening here. Our brother Chuck just talked about the history of this country. Brothers and sisters, continue today. Look at our jails. Look at our immigration system. Look who are here today. It's not different then and now. It's getting worse, and we can't allow this to happen. And I'd like to tell those city councils who vote in favor of that racist bill, for them to remember that the next election. Mike Flanagan and others. It is a shame, 2014, to take the rights of our children to have a bus to take them to the school. We try to tell other people, other countries what to do, but we can't keep our records here straight. Where's the safety of our children? Where's the protection of our workers? So we are together on this for a long term. And I believe strongly we're going to win this war. Let us stay all together. Thank you.
Kirschbaum.
We get ready to march to Veolia transportation over there. I'm going to tell you how we're going to do this. We're going to let the truck go by to take the front, the lead, and then after that, we are going to march behind the banner. For those speakers that haven't spoke yet, we can speak over there after we march. When we get over there, when we station over by Veolia Corporation building there, and then the speakers can come on the truck once we call them. All right, we're going to start the march and then. Yeah. Veolia, we say no. Union bus.
Please don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. We're going to march to the other side of Veolia transportation. Just follow the truck, please. Don't go anywhere. There's lots of more people that's going to talk. please be with us and let's march to Veolia. Veolia, we say no. Veolia, we say no. I can't hear you. Veolia, we say no. Veolia, we say no. Maureen, please come to the truck. Miss Maureen, come to the truck, please. I gotta be watching for my kids too. Hold on.
Maureen, we need the bullhorn.
Stay with him. Stay with her, please. Follow her. Okay, thank you. Veolia, we say no.